Hi, everybody. Hopefully they don't make this the teaser picture. No one's going to watch it. I went to New Albany, Mississippi yesterday. There's a short line railroad there called the Ripley in New Albany. And didn't see any trains yesterday, but I chased the line and I shot videos of all the industries, things like that, because it's a really cool railroad. Went back today and I actually saw a train. Got three very slow run-bys, so I filmed them in the rain. So I've sort of spliced them together, so some of the narration doesn't make a lot of sense. That's why I spliced them together. But anyhow, enjoy it. As far as I know, if you search YouTube for the Ripley New Albany Railroad, there's only one other video, and that's just like one single train passing by. So if I'm right, I've got 75% of the, the content on the Ripley New Albany Railroad on YouTube now. So enjoy it. Hi everyone, back in New Albany. It's Tuesday afternoon. Somebody's getting ready for some band practice. One of the engines is gone, so I chased it and I shot some video of it. So I'll show you one clip now and two more at the end of the video. Well, it's raining, but I found him. Heading back south toward New Albany. That's what I wanted to hear. Started to rain a little harder. Let's see if I can get ahead of him. Hi everybody, in the hotel room in Tupelo. Today we're going to talk about a short line railroad in the area that I visited. It's part of the Pioneer, it used to be Pioneer Rail Corp, but May 5th of this year they changed their name to Pioneer Lines, a short line railroad holding company. Probably some legal maneuver, probably some tax advantage or something. Who knows? But anyhow, if you click on the locations in the drop down, what we're going to talk about is the Ripley and New Albany Railroad. New Albany, Mississippi is the county west of where I'm at in Tupelo, and it's a pretty fascinating railroad. So we'll give you some of the history about it first, and then we'll sort of show you some pictures I took today. Okay, like a lot of short line railroads, actually it became part of a Class 1 railroad. It was part of the Gulf Mobile in Ohio. It started in 1872 as a narrow gauge railroad, and if you wrote a Hollywood movie, they'd say it was unbelievable. Anyhow, William Faulkner, the famous author, his great-grandfather was one of the original owners of it, and who was later shot dead on the courthouse steps by his business partner. I said it started as a narrow gauge, and I'm not going to go through all the corporate names that it went through, but eventually it became under the Gulf Mobile in Ohio. In 1972, they merged with the Illinois Central Gulf, and it became Illinois Central Gulf. In the 1980s, during deregulation, Illinois Central Gulf just spun off almost everything. I mean, everything that wasn't a north-south route, they spun it off. And so then it went through a succession of different things, and it ended up being part of the Kansas City Southern. I think it was Mid-South Rail and Kansas City Southern Bottom. Well, you see there's two lines in Mississippi that went to Mobile that were sort of parallel here. So I am pointing at Tupelo with my knife. New Albany is over here on the parallel line. So this line still exists, the line to Tupelo. But the line over here they decided was not financially viable anymore. So they, spun it off and spun it off. And basically, here's New Albany and Ripley right here. By the time Pioneer got a hold of it and named it the Ripley and New Albany, it was only 27 miles left. It extends a little bit north of Ripley, but it's just for car storage. There's no business up there. The biggest customer on the line is Oil Dry, and that's in Ripley, and I'll show you a picture of that. So again, it's really fascinating read if you want to read about it, but I take a whole video just telling you all the different names it went through and everything. So today there were 2 locomotives sitting in New Albany. This is former Illinois Central 8902. It's built in 1953 as a GP7. It's now classified as a GP8. Okay, so the other engine is former Santa Fe 1126. It's a GP20 built in 1961. It did last long enough it became part of BN SF. So I don't know how long Pioneer has had it, but it's now classified as a GP20U, which I don't know what the U stands for. So after showing you those locomotives, you must know that I'm just chomping at the bit to see and to hear those run, but I'm probably never going to have the opportunity. They only run Monday through Friday. It is a short line, and they probably start early in the morning and finish early in the afternoon. And I'm at work. Toyota's not going to send me to Mississippi so I can go rail fanning for a day. And so I'll probably never get a chance to see them run. But what I did today, I thought if I did have a chance, I got out early enough, I drove to the north end of the line first because I thought if there's a chance I might see them coming back to New Albany. So I followed Route 15 all the way north to the end of the line, which is in Ripley. It actually goes a little bit farther than this. This is Oil Dry production. It's a huge facility, and Oil Dry is a chemical. I've used it before. Like if you spill oil, basically it does what it says it does. It soaks it up. It's a clay-based product. It's sort of like, some people use cat litter. I've used cat litter in my garage before. But covered hoppers, I'm assuming that they're getting the clay in covered hoppers and doing most of their shipping in trucks. I don't think that they actually ship covered hoppers out of this stuff. It's usually in bags, like 50-pound bags, 100-pound bags, something like that. So I don't think that there's, matter of fact, on this whole railroad, I'm not sure that there's any. There might be one company that actually ships products out. I think most of it is raw materials in. So this is Oil Dry. I'll stop this here and I'll show you. Now, I was too late to see a train, but I was too early. The plants are still running, and this place probably runs 2 or 3 shifts anyhow. So I stayed in my car. I wasn't going to get out and walk around when there's trucks moving around and people working and stuff. So basically I just shot out of my car until I got down to New Albany. So I apologize for that, and some of the video might be a little shaky because I was like maybe turning around in a parking lot and trying to keep the camera focused. But I wanted you to get these sort of the gist of what the operation was like. So now let me show you what I shot on site at Oil Dry. This is Oil Dry in Ripley. Obviously a huge customer for the railroad. Go back and turn around. A couple more cars over here. Pretty interesting place. It's essentially the end of the line. They do some car storage past here, but that's about it. So the next industry south of Ripley, I almost missed it. It's really hard to see. There's no sign. Evidently it's a sawmill. This picture doesn't show a lot of, these are, I assume they're center beam flat cars. Can't see the center beam because they're loaded. Could just be bulkhead flats, but anyhow, today there are two more there completely loaded, and there's a lot of wood sitting around in here. So I assume this big building up here is a sawmill of some type, but no sign at all. Down here where the trees are, there's a gate that was closed. Again, I was there after 5 o'clock, so really couldn't see what it was, but I'm just assuming it's a sawmill. I'll show you what I shot from the car. This is south of Ripley. I guess it's a little sawmill. There's some spur with a couple lumber cars loading up there. So, nice little industry. All right, we're still heading south on Route 15. Almost the entire railroad parallels Route 15 until you get in close to New Albany, where it veers off west a little bit and curves in, but it's really easy to chase. Now it would be much better in the wintertime without all the foliage because it's pretty overgrown, but it would be really easy. I imagine there's slow speeds. You could go down Route 15 and get a grade crossing and film them, and then go a couple miles, get ahead of them, and do it again pretty easy. So this is really interesting because it says Profile Products Wood Stove Shop. I have no idea what that means, but this is a pretty big industry, really. And according to their Profile Products LLC on industry.net, it says they are a sports field, soil amendments, and lawn and garden products. That's what they make. So whatever that, but it looked to me like they were loading covered hoppers here. And you can see up here, there's some covered hoppers. When I was there, there's a siding over here, had some more covered hoppers. Now the siding, they're actually on the east side of the highway, so they have to cross the highway to get to this place. But there's a lot of covered hoppers here, and they actually load down here. I'll blow the picture up a little bit for you and drag it. So yeah, there's covered hoppers parked along here that looked like they were loading stuff in. So if you like covered hoppers, this would be a railroad for you to model because there's a lot of covered hoppers on this railroad. So I'll show you what it looked like from the car. All right, this is a place obviously called Profile Products. I'll have to look up, see what they make. It's obviously something in covered hoppers. Main line's on the other side of the road. They've got a spur crosses the road here, Highway 15, and a bunch of covered hoppers stored over there and over here. Okay, no traffic coming, so I just thought I would just drive by and film it. Sort of what the right-of-way looks like everywhere. Actually, this is a good-looking section. There's some places that look pretty rough. This is in Blue Mountain. Okay, I had to do some digging for this one. It says Blue Mountain Production. It's actually owned by Oil Dry. It makes basically the same type of stuff, but they actually do make cat litter here. So it's, again, all covered hoppers. It's clay-based products. I think it's all clay in and shipped in trucks. You can see a lot of trucks parked down here. You can see trucks up here. Here's the railroad here. So I think they're getting raw materials in, but man, they make, must be a lot of cats out there. Well, I've got 4 myself, so anyhow. So again, it's clay-based products that they make here. So I'll show you what I filmed when I was there. All right, this says Blue Mountain Production Company. And it looks like I thought at first it might be like a rail car storage, but I actually think they do produce stuff, or get products in anyhow. Not sure what they do. If you like the model covered hoppers, I think this might be the railroad for you. So here's the other end. Oh, it has like 2 entrances. So the final customer on the line, heading south again toward New Albany, as far as I can tell, this is the final customer, is JNS Biofuel. And they get tank cars of methanol. When I was there today, as you'll see in the picture, there are 4 tank cars there. And these tanks right here are labeled methanol. So they combine the methanol with other stuff to make B100 biodiesel. An interesting thing is, in 2014, this plant blew up. So, and it's been rebuilt. It's actually bigger now than it used to be. So I don't know, maybe when this, I don't know how old this picture is in Google Maps, maybe it wasn't operational yet. Like I said, there are 4 tank cars there today. So I'll show you what it looked like today. Another interesting place alongside the line. We're getting back close to New Albany now. It says methanol storage. So I guess they get tank cars of methanol here. I'll turn around and get a better shot of the building. The tracks go all the way through there. Alright, we finally made it to New Albany. This is the headquarters of the railroad. This is where they park their locomotives. This is the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. This is Memphis over here. Tupelo would be down here. This is the connection track between the two, the interchange track. There's a little yard here. Couple tracks. Couple stub end tracks here. I'm not sure what they are. BNSF has this is like a maintenance of way shed. They've got some trucks parked there. They've got a lot of equipment parked around here, more so than in Tupelo. This is the little building headquarters for the Ripley and New Albany Railroad. 2 locomotives are parked right here in this picture, and they were again today parked there. This is Railroad Avenue. I assume the depot used to be on this corner. It either had to be there or on the opposite corner. Again, you can barely see maybe the tracks in the street here. So the tracks used to come on across and they went down the middle of the street and farther south, and now that's a rail trail called the Tanglewood Trail. I think it's the longest rail trail in Mississippi. I've ridden part of it. I brought my bike down here one time and stayed in New Albany and rode my bike on 20 miles of it or so. There's a few tracks up in here. There's a crop production services garden center, and there's a lumber company here, but neither one of them get rail served. So I don't think there's any companies in New Albany itself that get rail served. So of course up here, this is north. This is heading back toward Ripley, going out that way. So let me show you what that looks like at ground level. So this is New Albany, Mississippi. This is looking north towards Ripley. Here's the headquarters. Again, this is a Pioneer Rail Corp subsidiary, so I don't know where the corporate headquarters is for Pioneer. Uh, until about 10 years ago, there was a diamond here. And if you can see, the tracks went right down the middle of the street over there. And there's a sign that says Tanglefoot Trail. And that's a rail trail now. About 10 years ago, they took out this diamond and they made it into a rail trail. Okay, so again, this is looking north toward Ripley. I'm pretty sure those cars are just stored there. There's no industries here in New Albany that I could find. Don't think that lumber company is actually a customer anymore. I'm going to swivel around. The track right there is the interchange track with Burlington Northern Santa Fe. And there's the engines. Again, I'm looking south now, and you can see the sign for the Tanglefoot Trail down there. They've got a lot of no trespassing signs on the railroad property, so I'm just going to stay on this side of the street as much as I can. Something you don't see every day. Loader pushing, we're at that methanol place. This is how they move their cars around. There are a couple more cars here today than there were yesterday. That's pretty cool. I don't know if I could do that in Innscape though. Like I say, a headlight. It's going to be a few minutes before he's here. We're in Cotton Plant, Mississippi. That's actually the name of this little town. And grain elevator here. Don't know if it ever had a siding or not. Definitely had a passing siding. But I don't know if it ever got rail service or not. So I'm going to shut off the video. I don't really think you want to wait 5 minutes for this headlight to get here. He's coming, just coming slow. Guy here at the grain elevator just come out and asked me if I worked for the railroad because he's complaining about the grade crossing. I said, nope, just here taking a picture in the rain. I would guess that their speed limit is 10 miles an hour. The track is pretty rough. Look at all the leaves on the roof. I'd go to New Albany and wait for him, but at this rate, it's going to be a long time. I may just have to content myself with these two shots. I don't know if you guys remember in the original Austin Powers movie when he is on the steamroller and runs over the security guard who won't get out of the way. That's what chasing this train is like. He's going so slow to drive up ahead of him and wait forever. So that's probably the last shot I'm going to get. So I had actually staked out this bridge, got tired of waiting, drove up ahead to see if I could find a better one, and I couldn't. So I came back to here and just barely got him. So everybody stay safe.